Good day, everyone. Good day. Thank you for the ones watching this right now. Appreciate it. And the ones that will watch it later, I appreciate it. So, I just want to get into something about how to become a good, you know, um, real estate investor. This is a question that I get a lot when people are talking to me, or if I'm talking to someone, and I just want to get some pointers down. I just want to tell you my successes and my falls and the things that I have done to make sure I stay on the right track. All right. So I want to get into this. So welcome to success. I hope you enjoy the journey. I hope you enjoy what the information that I'm giving you. And so we're gonna get right into it. All right. So you see me right there. That's me. I found this old picture on Facebook. This is I took this when me and my wife and I got our first property, and it was exciting time because we tried for a while to get our first property, and I just wanted to get my hands dirty. I wanted to get into it. I just wanted to feel it. So just tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Ken Brown. My wife and I, we own Care Home Solutions. Um, we've been um, in the real estate game now for about 6 years. About 6 years we've been at it. Um, and this is not the only thing I do. Okay, I'm by nature or by trade, I'm a chef, and this is the chef is what I do. And so my wife and I, we decided to get into the real estate world because we knew that eventually we want to get out of what we're doing. We want to get out the rat race, as they say. And we knew real estate was going to lead us to that point that we want to be at in our life. So we started to get into it, and I love it. I love real estate. I love rent, and I love renovating. Just a thrill and excitement. So that's just a little bit about me, and that's what I do. So how to become a successful real estate investor. All right, so here's the thing. When I do any topic, I like to research my topic. I like to know what other information that people are giving you. So I know I want to give you something different. I want to give you something new. I want to give you something fresh. I don't want to say the same things just to get ratings on YouTube, or just to get popularity. I want to tell you something that you probably haven't heard before. The ins and out, the ups and downs of real estate and investing. So, and I'm gonna tell you like this. A lot of people. Well, first of all, I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh, I do 50 homes a week." I'm making 100, 300,000 dollars a year. They're just not what it is. You know what I'm saying? Real estate, it's not about the quantity that you do. It's about the quality. So the things that I have learned, the things that was taught to me, because I'm also affiliated with investor group program called Fortune Builders, and it taught us a lot about real estate and things that we did not know about it. And so I have done my research. I have been in deals. I have been out of deals. I have done deals. So I'm just giving you my perspective of what I have done and what I've have learned that's kind of saved me over the time that I have been doing real estate. So I want to get right into this. So the first thing is take your time, know yourself. And what do I mean by this? I get everything established. So when my wife and I first started, we was very excited. We got into the Fortune Builder program, and we was very excited about getting started. But one thing that we did sit and talk about, that uh we want to get everything established, our name, our business cards, business numbers. We want to make sure we do all our research. So we want to make sure we get everything established, because see, here's the worst thing to do. The worst thing to do is you try so hard to get a property. You pumped up, you got your first property. You ready to make that deal. And by the time you get ready to make that deal, where you gonna put the property at? You have no place to put it at. Now you trying to run around trying to get your business established, your name, your LLC. You don't want to go that route, because every time that you take away from your property, or getting that property flipped over, or wholesale, or rented out, whatever you trying to do, that's you losing money. So you want to make sure you get everything established first, and that way, once you get your first property, you ready to go. Okay, so let's go to number 2. So what direction are you going? Okay, this is another thing that my wife and I, we had to really just sit down and decide what we're gonna do. You have many ways to flip a property. You can rehab, you can wholesale, or even if you got a property and want to be a landlord. So you have many ways that you can flip a property. But here's the thing though, when you first starting out, you want to know what direction you going in, because each direction, or each way you can flip that property, is always a million ways inside that. You don't want to try to do everything at once, because now you overloading yourself with too much information. You get confused, and it's just not understandable. Like when we first got into it and we would start doing our teaching, and I was very excited about being in it. And I realized that I'm learning everything at once. I'm overloading myself. I mean, I was spending hours and hours and hours on the computer just looking at videos. But at the end of the day, I did not learn anything, because I wasn't focused on one thing. So once we sat down and decided on what direction we was going in, then it made everything else easier to do it in real estate. Like, so we decided to go on rehabbing. So that's what we studied. That's what we researched on rehabbing, how to rehab, and what the ins and out of rehabbing. So you want to know your direction, know where you want to go, and then that's what you want to focus on until when you get that established and that mastered, then you could go on to the next. All right. So 3, know your location. Now this right here is a big one for me. Again, this all goes back to number 1, get everything established, because before we even start finding a property, we did the first 2, and we want to know what location are we going to buy in. Okay, analyze your properties, analyze your areas, analyze your whatever you want to do in the real estate game. Analyze it, map it out. Okay, so we're gonna break all this down. Analyze, map it out. What is mapping out? Is you want to sit and you want to know your zip codes in here. Okay, you want to study your zip codes. What zip code is selling? What's a good zip code? What zip codes that you want to buy in? All right, counties. You also want to do in your counties. Some counties are good, some counties are bad. So when you want to make sure that the counties that you are working in, you want to make sure they're good counties, good schools. That's what, good. A school area is good. And this is some big one to me. No war zones. All right. See the picture? Found this on the internet. I think it was funny. But you don't want war zones. You don't want areas that's high crime, drug, low income, Because here's the thing. Whatever property or whatever area your property's in, that's really the kind of clientele you're going to receive. If you, okay, think about this. Would a person who looking for a $200,000-$300,000 home want to move in an area that the homes are selling for $5,000-$6,000? No. And with people who can only afford $5,000-$6,000, can they move into areas that doing $200,000-$300,000 homes? So you want to know your area, you want to know your zip code, you want to know your counters. The biggest thing I learned about location is schools. Oh my God, schools. If you got good schools, you're gonna have really good clients and clientele coming into that area. Good schools equals more money and better clientele for either if you flipping, you flipping, you trying to sell it, you trying to wholesale it to a rehabber, or you trying to landlord it out. You need great areas to get that clientele. All right, so let's move on. So this is what I want to show you. Okay, so this is something that, like a map of my Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. So what I did, I just mapped the perimeter. I got the perimeter. 285 is my perimeter, and then I say, okay, I want to stay away from the west side of 20, and I want to work in more in the east side of 20. I know that the north side of 85, 75 is gonna have higher price home. I know the lower part, south, is gonna have, it's gonna be in the middle. But the thing is about this part, I know the school districts are not that good. So I want to pay attention to that. And also you want to do your area codes. I mapped up all my area codes similar to this. I know what zip code that I want to buy in, and I just make sure I stay in that area. All right. So that's how you want to do it. You want to map out your location and find a great location that you want to buy in. All right. So 4 is important too. I mean, all of them is important, but here's the thing. You could be so pumped up and you could be so energized about getting your first property and being in the real estate game and making the money, and you forget to just to be patient. Don't rush it. That's the most important thing about it. Just don't rush it. I got this little quote right here. Everything's come to you in the right time. Be patient. It may take time. It may take you months, 6, 7. When we started looking for a property, from the time we really just decided to get into real estate to the time we found our property, it had to be like 7 months that passed. I mean, I remember 3 months we used to establish our business. So you have to be patient, because when you're not patient, that's when you go out and get the wrong thing. You don't think about where you're getting it or what you're getting. You get it because it's exciting to get it, and you just want to be patient. It take time. The right one gonna come to you. It's gonna come to you. It's gonna speak to you. And when you get the right one, that's when you start seeing profits. You start seeing your money looking good. That way you be able to buy more properties when you just take your time and be patient. All right. Number 5. And this is really big too. I know I was gonna say big, but this is really big. Know the numbers. Okay. Know the numbers. If you don't know the numbers, how you know what to buy? The old saying go, if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make what? Sense. If it ain't making you money, it don't make sense. So you want to analyze the property. You want to make sure the property is in a good location, and you want to make sure the money is right. Is the ARV right? Is what I'm buying it for worth what I got to put into it? No matter if you wholesaling, and no matter if you rehabbing, no matter if you trying to be a landlord, Even if you're trying to be a landlord, you still have to buy right and to make a profit, to profit every month. You know, if you don't buy right and your rent is $1,200 a month, but you charging $1,400 a month, but the market said it ain't worth nothing but $1,000 a month, you losing money. Cause who gonna buy your home? Who gonna rent it? So you have to know the numbers. You have to, everything has to make sense. And like the old saying go to, 2 plus 2 equals 4. You don't want 2 plus 2 to equal 2. You don't want to do that because you're breaking even. You don't want 2 plus 2 equal 1. You're losing. So you always want to stay ahead. You always want to know your numbers, and you always want to make sure you do the right things. All right. So 6, the last one that I have, and this is crazy because, you know, like once again, like the past deals that I've been in, you know, I I try to learn from my mistakes and allowing people to take advantage of you, uh, not buying the right property, not uh, setting a good budget for your property. It can be very hurtful to you. Um, do your research on everything. Do your research on everything. What I mean by that? Okay, look at the picture. Now, what I'm saying in the picture: house, stencil, house plans. You know, do you know what this means? I tell you. Be the contractor. Be the contractor. Now you might be saying, "What you mean by be the contractor? Should I do my own property?" No, I'm not saying that. Now, when I first started, I was excited, so I wanted to get my hands in it. I want to get my hands dirty. I wanted to see what it feel like to break a kitchen down, to break concrete. It was a hard job. I would never do it again. But here's the thing: my wife and I, you know, we sat down, we got the property. We uh broke down everything that we wanted in the property. This is one thing that Fortune Builders taught us. You know, break down everything from the wood to the floors to the tile on the floor to the sheetrock to the tape on the walls to the kitchen. How much the kitchen gonna cost? The appliances, the fixtures, everything. So what happened? Like when we first got into it, you know, I got in contact with about 7. I had about several contractors come out, and one mistake I did do, you know, I came off as a newbie. I came off as a you know, little wet behind my ears. I shouldn't have, but learned from my mistakes. And a lot of them knew that I really didn't know exactly everything that's going on, which they thought I didn't do. So I was getting bid from, I knew it was gonna be a $40,000 project. People coming in with $80,000, you know, bids. I knew that getting permits wouldn't cost no more than about $200. People coming in with $1,200 because they felt like I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was talking about. But when it came to it, I told them, and they knew. And after they saw my paperwork, that I knew how much floors cost. I knew how much the sheetrock gonna cost. I knew how much the kitchen sink, the refrigerator, the toilet, everything. Because we had to really just gut this house. I knew how much everything was gonna cost. So they could not fool me. You know, they could not tell me what I already knew. And that's by being the contractor. That's what being the contractor means, is know your stuff. That way they can't tell you. They can't tell you that you are wrong or that you don't know what you're talking about, because you know how much it costs. They can't fool you. All right. So be the contractor. All right. So let's go back over one by one. Take your time. Know yourself. All right. 2, you want to know what direction you're going in. 3, know your location, your area. That's important. All right. 4, be patient. 5, know the numbers. Know the numbers. That's very important. And 6, learn from your mistakes. All right. So I'd like to thank y'all for watching. I have more videos coming up next week. I'm trying to let everyone know, but next week I want to talk about what it takes to be a great wholesaler, because this is something too that a lot of people asking or wondering. So I want to let you know what it takes to be a great wholesaler. All right. So thank y'all for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon. Okay. All right. See you later.